Hiya guys, Spectre here, and welcome to a Dead by Daylight video. This is a how-to. It's one showing some helpful perks that I've been finding really useful at the moment to help you survive and stuff. But one is how to counter ultimate weapon. Xenomorph perk, so it's been recently added with the newest killer. And as you can read here, I'll read it out to you, it's very powerful. When you open a locker, the perk activates for 30 seconds. Survivors entering your terror radius scream, reveal their position and gain blindness for 30 seconds. This perk goes on cooldown for 30 seconds. So basically as soon as it comes off cooldown, you can use it again. You just open another locker. And lockers being everywhere on every goddamn map makes it incredibly easy to find survivors. So if you just randomly scream for no reason, and let's say you're on the other side of a wall to a killer, and the killer opens a locker, you're basically doomed. And with this as well, killers are more like to check lockers, so hiding in locks is not as viable either. So this is one of my games from my stream, and it's when I came across this several times across the course of this stream, and decided to make a change. So it was like this was being overused by killers that are getting it, and even the lower versions are still ridiculously good. So I thought, right, there's got to be a counter to this in some way. And because it says enter the terror radius screen, and obviously some killers have got smaller terror range than others, but one thing that all killers can do is they can take terror range increasing perks. There are some perks out there that will increase the killer's terror range, like Doctor can have almost a map-wide terror range with some of the perks that he can take. Legion does it sometimes as well, but I think that's also add-ons for the killer itself. But they can basically use this to almost cover the entire map and make you scream. And the only way to avoid screaming is by taking the counter perk, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute, or by being inside a locker itself. But if you are inside a locker, you risk the killer opening the locker that you're in and pulling you out. So that's one of the downsides why it's probably not a good idea to be in the lockers. Also, if you guys are new around here, please drop me a sub. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can apply for the YouTube partner program. If you could help me get there, I'd really appreciate it. And let me show you our little counter. So this is my character, my Jake. So the counter is Calm Spirit. Calm Spirit is a Jake perk, and it reduces chances of alerting woodland creatures by 100%, allows you to overcome the urge to scream, which is key, allows you to open chests and cleanse and bless totems silently but at 30% reduced speed. Now the scream part is the important part. So because that makes you scream, when you've got this on, you don't scream at all. So when they open the locker, you'd still get the blindness effect, but you don't scream. So the killer can't find you. So if all 4 survivors had this on, the killer would get no use from that perk at all. You'd completely negate the perk. Which is why Calm Spirit will become very useful in the coming weeks and months as more killers start to use the ultimate weapon. It is devastating perk and really easy finding survivors. So if you're having trouble with ultimate weapon perk and you're coming across it a lot like I've been lately, I urge you to take Calm Spirit, it counters it. Into some of my other perks that I use in my build, Soul Survivor is good if you aren't playing with friends. If you're playing with friends, you probably want something else that's going to help you work as a team, or something like borrowed time, so you can get saves. But Soul Survivor when you're playing solo, pretty much a must-have because of how long exegates take to open, and the fact that a lot of your teammates can die and basically be stranded by yourself at the end. Windows Opportunity is really good because it's every map being procedurally generated. You might not get the same windows and the same pallets in the same locations on the same map multiple times. You know you'll always get a pallet on like the Killer Shack, but you don't know on which door. You know you'll always have a window, but you don't know on which side of the Killer Shack. So this means you can see them all within 32 meters, you know what's there, what's available to use. So you're not running into a dead zone and thinking bugger. Now one that I've started using recently, I was using Resilience, so when I'm injured I could do certain actions 9% faster, or made for this. So I could run 3% faster when I was injured as well to make it stronger for looping killers. But I've started using Deja Vu. Deja Vu has been in the game since release, but it used to be a crap meme perk. No one fucking used it. No one. Because it used to be, it showed all generators for 9 seconds at the start of a match, which was completely useless. It did nothing. There was no purpose to it. Not like the killer version, where they show the survivors for 9 seconds, because they can see where you are, and roughly which generator you might be walking towards. And if they're not too far away, they can get to you before they lose the 9 seconds as well. So the killer's version is really useful. Our version isn't. Once the 9 seconds are gone, it's like you're not going to remember where they are. So, the only thing you could pair it with if it would work would be on a map, so then you can use your map. But if your map runs out, again, you're kind of scuppered. So this will show you the aura of 3 generators in red that are the closest together. So the good thing about that is you can also work on some of those generators and prevent the killer 3 gen stratting your team. If you get 3 gen stratted against any killer, it's devastating. Some killers more than others, like the fucking cyborg lady who puts up drones. If you've got Nemesis and you've got zombies in bad places, which you can't control that though. The trapper with traps around the generators, or the hag with her traps. Anything that can set up like a defensive area. It's bad to have 3 gens in close proximity, because trying to do them is an absolute goddamn nightmare. So it shows you the 3 closest generators together in red, and you can repair them 6% faster. Obviously you can increase that as well by like taking a toolbox if you want to. I don't generally take in items because killers whinge too much, but the option's there where you can. The best part about this is, outdoor maps it's not so much an issue, because you can look up and you can see the floodlights, you can find where generators are, unless it's inside a building. Now if you are on an indoor map, of which there are quite a few, I was running around like a little lost lamb the other day on Midwich Elementary School. The last 3 generators, so we need to complete 1 generator, there were 3 left, I could not find one. If the generator's turned on even partially, you can hear it, you get an audio cue. But if the generators aren't turned on at all, you've just got to literally run into the room they're in and find them. And that map's that big with 2 floors, trying to find a generator, it were a nightmare. So while me and my last teammate alive, they were running around the killer, I was trying to find a generator. All that time I could have spent working on generator. Now it wouldn't have been enough time to get the generator completed, but I could have been doing something useful. So this will show you, when you get down to the last 3 generators, it will show you all 3. And you can work on any of them with a 6% speed increase. So it's really, really strong, the less generators you've got as well. So it gets stronger towards the end of the game, by the fact that then you can only work on those and always get your speed boost. Obviously indoor maps are a big problem for us as well. We can't find generators. The killer knows where they are, we don't. So if you then suddenly know where they are, you can see, you know, you might have 2 say close together on one other side of the map. You know you've got to either work on one of those 2 or one at the far side of the map. And the killer's job patrolling them then becomes a lot harder because you've broke up his potential 3 gen strat. And with them working on 6% faster, it can add up. And it can help you get that last gen done that bit quicker if someone's running the kill around. So it's become an incredibly useful perk, part of my build, especially when you get indoor maps. It's good on outdoor maps as well, but you don't need it on outdoor maps as much to find the generators. All it does on outdoor maps is it will show you the 3 closest ones together, so you can break up that triangle of death the killer might create. So in this case anyway, on the indoors, it is so useful, incredibly useful when you know where they are. So like your Midwich, your pig map, your doctor's map, any of those indoor ones where you run around thinking where the fuck are the generators. Now you might know where certain generators are, like usually have one in the middle of the doctor's map in the operating theatre, but it's usually also one of the hardest ones to complete, because obviously the killer will use that as a main thoroughfare running through to go to other generators. So unless you can get it done early on and get lucky, generally that's going to be the last one of the last ones you'll have. So then you need 2 others on opposite sides of the map to each other, and you can ignore the one in the middle, which the killer's still going to have to check, and then you do the ones on the opposite sides. And that way it makes it a lot easier for you to try and survive that end game. Now obviously, I'm not saying take all these perks. You can if you want to. This is just a build that I use. This one I would say is more optional if you've got friends. If you're playing with like 1, 2 or 3 friends, I wouldn't say take this. I would take something else that will help your friends out or work with your team. But these three do their work in most matches. This every match, this now every match, and this when you see more of the ultimate weapon. The ultimate weapon is a rather nasty perk that the devs have brought in, and because all killers have got to do is every 30 seconds open a locker to trigger that perk, and then if you enter the terror range you scream, or if you're already in the terror range you scream. So if they think there might be somebody there and you're not inside a locker, that's it, you scream. If you're in a locker, obviously you could be in there, they could pull you out. So it's the perfect counter to ultimate weapon. I would say at the moment it's going to be a needed perk, and as more kills start to unlock it and realise how strong ultimate weapon is, you're going to want Calm Spirit. So if you're having difficulty with it, invest in Jake, invest in my boy, and get yourself Calm Spirit to help yourselves out and make your matches a bit easier where you're not on the killer's radar quite as much. If there are any other perks that you guys have spotted that are quite problematic from the killer side, let me know in the comments down below. I will take a look at them and see what I can come up with for a viable counter for them. Because sometimes it's not always that easy. Sometimes it's like a partial counter and not a complete counter. Personally, I'm hoping they bring back Iron Will. If they bring back Iron Will, I'll probably replace Soul Survivor, because then I can go back to juking killers. Well, Soul Survivor does have it's a really strong perk that you need in solo play. I do prefer juking killers. I love juking killers, but I need them to rebuff Iron Will back to 100%. It can't be reduced in any way. It just doesn't work. It's not good how it was. Because this is what I this is what I used to run mine as that one. I'd change it out for like Borrowed Time or Resilience. But this is what I used to like running. I used to love running with these types of ones. This is my more chase build because I've got Resilience and made for this. But that's basically, if I'm looking not to do generators, I'm just basically going to keep the killer on me the most of the game. Basically, that's what I'm looking to do. But when I'm trying to help my team out and do gens, this is one that I'm taking there to be part of it. Because sometimes you might have somebody else who's being chased by the killer and they're running the kill around. The other day as well, this happened to me not one but 2 games in a row. I had one game against the Alien on RPD, probably not the best map to be fair, plus the Alien's strong on fucking every map because it can come out those tunnels everywhere. I had one of the survivors give me shit at the end of the match, saying, dude, stop placing turrets, do gens. Now bear in mind at this point there was on 2 people alive, me and this guy, and we'd done 2 gens. I did one of those 2 gens. I don't know who did the other, it could have been that guy, it could have been somebody else. We weren't going to escape, we weren't going to do 3 gens against a Xenomorph. And bear in mind, he was already on the floor and on death hook. So when they got picked up and put on the hook, he was dead. It was me by myself. Am I going to do 3 gens by myself? Am I bollocks? Not a fucking chance. One of the crappiest killers in the game could get you with 3 gens left. Only chance you've got there is the hatch. It's the only chance you've got. Luckily on that match I did actually find the hatch after that guy died. But that is the only time I've escaped the Xenomorph so far. The Xenomorph is, probably needs nerfing. They're a bit too strong. That tail goes a bit too far, I think. The next match was against either Dredge or Roni. I think it was Dredge. It was Dredge. Again, 2 gens done, 3 remaining. This time, I did both gens. Because I spoke to the killer at the end of the match and said, what the fuck were the other 3 doing? Between 3 survivors, they couldn't do 1 generator. Between 3 of them. And Dredge is not a killer who can easily chase 2 people. I don't know what they were doing. As an efficiency thing for a survivor, if you are newer to the game or you're not sure what you're doing, if you aren't being chased by the killer, or the killer's not in your vicinity, and other survivors getting chased round by them, in which case you can move away if it's safe to do so, so the killer doesn't see you and they decide to chase you instead. Move away and work on generator somewhere else. But if the killer's say other side of the world, or at least not in terror range, and he's chasing another survivor, be on a generator. Just be on a generator. That's all you've got to do. I think with as well when you, if I look on, I'll bring it up. So this is another thing. As you see here, this Lysetto guy, This guy is being chased by the killer. These two little tiny wee spider legs show who's being chased by the killer. If that isn't you, and the killer's not immediately seeing you in the same area, be on a generator. As you can see here, my entire team is on gens. We're all on gens. But, as it turns out, this is a rarity. A lot of survivors don't know what a generator is, apparently. Or if they do, they're not working on them. Now, I know at the moment there's the Halloween event still going on. I don't know why. Personally, they should start it on the 1st of October and finish it on the 31st. That'd make sense. It's a month of Halloween. But not everyone's doing the Halloween event thing. And if they are, that's their right to do so. Some people are just running around like headless chickens. Do something productive to help your team. It's too many games in a row where there's 3 gens left and people like me are the ones doing the gens, and it's like, what the fuck is my team doing? Because you're not getting any chance to escape. None. The chance has just gone right out the window. You need to be working on a generator if you aren't being chased. If you're being chased, then it's your job to do one of 2 things. Either keep the killer busy, or lose the killer so you can then go and work on the generator. But one thing you also need to do is, don't take the bloody killer to a generator in progress. If you know somebody's working on a generator in that local area, don't run the killer to the generator in the hopes they'll chase that other survivor. Lead them away from the generator. Generators getting done equals that you all escape. If the generators don't get done, then you're all dead. Or one might get a lucky hatch. So use a bit of brain power in that as well. Sometimes you've got to go towards where a generator is because there might be a pallet and windows, in which case surviving the generator's going to have to leave and go somewhere else. But if you know somebody's on a generator, like in one of my maps in Haddonfield, me and one guy left alive on a 1 gen to do. So I was going to play it out. I knew where the remaining 3 gens were. One was in the middle of the street, one was in a park on the far side of the map, and one was in a house on the far right side of the map. So we'd got a nice big divide. I was trying to work on the one in the park, and I was hoping the other guy was working on the one in the house. We were against Pyramid Head. So I ran this kill around the map twice. And I'm like, hang about, why aren't this gen done yet? Then I realised that there was no generator icon at the side of the guy's portrait. The guy wasn't working on a gen. So I took him back to the house. Killer downed me. I let the killer down me. So I could try and see where the other side were, the person playing Jeff. And the guy was crouched at the back of the house in a bush, doing nothing. And had been for me running the kill around. And bear in mind, I'd not gone near that house with the killer, because I know that's where the generator was that he was going to work on. So he'd crouched there and done fuck all. Do something if someone else is being chased by the killer. Don't be a useless turd. Get on a generator and repair it. That's what the core of the game is. We repair generators, power up the exit gates, open the exit gates, and we escape. If you stand there like a complete turd, doing nothing, you're literally just giving the killer a free win. And the killers get enough wins. They're strong enough in this game. That's why there's only 1 killer against 4 survivors. Be doing generators if you're not being chased. With that said though, bring this video to an end here. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, leave a like. If you're new around here, please drop a sub. Again, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. If you can help me get there, I'd really appreciate it. And I'll catch you all next video. Take care everyone and have a great day.